Someone had asked me, how do Asians move inside California prisons? Now, there's no handbook, and nothing's written down, but there's definitely rules to it. And inside prison, you've come to learn really quick who to trust, when to speak, and when to stay quiet. And when it comes to the Asian card, man, it encompasses everyone. You got the Vietnamese, you got the Chinese, you got the Cambodians, the Filipinos, the Koreans. Man, I'm talking about everyone. All right. And usually because we're small, we try to keep the peace. But you got to remember, man, every yard is different. And in this video, I'm just going to talk about, what I saw, what I went through, how I moved, and how we moved as Asians as a unit. Let's go. Now, the Asian car, it falls underneath the umbrella of others. Okay, so others basically means anyone that's not part of like the Hispanic car, the blacks, or the whites. You literally fall underneath the car of others because you don't fall within those three main groups. Okay, and Asians is part of it. So you have the others as like the majority umbrella, then you have the Asians, right? Earlier, like I mentioned, Vietnamese, Chinese, Cambodians, etc. And then you also have the islanders, right? You got the Samoans, you got the Tongans, the Polynesians. You have shoot, man, and don't forget there's Hmongs in there, that ride with the Asians as well, right? We're all underneath the umbrella of others. Getting into the politics of things, because we aren't that large of a number, our program is a little bit light. Right? Usually when you have a big structure, in order to keep things organized, you have to have certain guidelines and you have to follow it. And if you don't, then things fall apart. But because we're smaller in numbers, our program's a little bit more, it's not that it's not structured, it's a little bit, it's more freeing. And it's pretty simple. You work out, don't be a bum, you read, you exercise your mind, you exercise your body, stay away from debt, and the main thing is just don't bring heat to the car. If you don't bring heat to the car and you just follow the universal rules of prison, like have respect, don't stare, don't step on someone's shoes, listen, don't cut anyone off, just the basic rules, then most likely you'll be okay. And because our numbers are much smaller, our program's a little bit more free, right? You can share food with another car. You can receive food from another car. But even though those things can happen, I've never seen it and I've never done it. And usually when those kind of boundaries get crossed, then it becomes a little bit iffy. So the best thing to do when things are unclear is just stay away from it. So even though I might be able to receive food, let's say for example from someone in the black car, I stay away from things like that because you just never know, by crossing that line something might happen. So the best rule of thumb is if you're unsure, just avoid it overall. But here's the thing though, even though our program is light, like I said, one wrong move and we all feel it. And it's just the flip of a coin what might happen next. We might just take off, we might riot, we might be on lockdown. So you just got to make sure that you're very aware and you understand the rules on each yard because they differ going to different prisons and different yards. The first lesson I learned was on day number 1 when I went to prison. There was this Vietnamese guy, a little bit taller than me, very heavy set. You can tell he was just sloppy. He just loves to eat, didn't work out. And he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, bro, you Vietnamese?" He's like, "Hey, yeah, Vietnamese, dog. Like, there's not a lot of us Asians here in the yard, but Vietnamese, we're the deepest one, bro. Vietnamese, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm Vietnamese." It was just like, "Hey, there's this product, this bag. Can you order it for me?" And I was like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, order you something? I literally just met you, dog. Like, no, I'm not gonna buy you anything, homie. Like, what? No, I'm cool, man. And he just walked off. I was like, okay, that was weird as hell. What the hell? Day number 2, he came over and did the same thing. He came over, he didn't put his arm around me this time, but he was like, hey, did you buy that thing? And that thing was just literally like one of those like travel bags. It's a little plastic bag that has a zipper, and you can put like your hygiene products in there, your toothbrush, your toothpaste, floss, whatever the case is, you put it in that bag and you can kind of store it and it keeps things organized. That's what he wanted to buy. So day number 2, he asked me the same thing. He's like, hey, did you buy that thing yet? And I was like, bro, I told you I'm not buying you that stuff, man. I don't even know you, homie. And he was just like, oh, okay. He's kind of walking away. Hey, make sure you buy me that stuff, dog. And he walked away. It's like, bro, what the hell? Day number 3, I saw him on the yard and he came over to me, did the exact same thing. This time I was like, what? And he asked me, hey, did you buy that thing yet? Like that thing I told you to like buy? You know, usually when it comes to the Asians, and you know, especially the Asians and the others as an overall, like I get along with everyone, okay? But you know, you got to remember, I was broke. I didn't even have money to buy sandals, like shower shoes. I actually got gifted that from somebody else. And that's how broke I was. So for this guy, it felt like he was trying to like have me buy him something as if I owed him some money. I just met this guy. So for me, I took it as a sign of disrespect. And usually because the other car were so small in numbers, the relationships tend to be much more enriched. We usually have a more deeper connection with one another. And we know instantly who to trust and who not to trust. And that was somebody I did not want to like know on any level. Even though we can be cordial, I did not want to know him. Even though he was Vietnamese, I didn't care. I felt like he was trying to bully me. So on day number 3, when he asked me the same thing, I literally I saw him on the bars, like where we were like working out at, and he came up like beside me. He asked me that, and I just took off on him. Bam! Bing, 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 bing. I don't know what the rules are for everyone else, and even like the Asian car, like I didn't know the rules. But the one thing I did know is you never let anyone ever try to bully you or disrespect you, especially in your pockets. He was trying to like pocket check me, and I just took off on him. After we got into the fight, the CEO came over and we were both there, like in the office. He was like, hey man, are you guys cool? Are you guys gonna be okay? Because I don't have any more open bunks. If you guys are cool, I'm gonna place you guys back into your housing units. You guys cool? And I was like, hey, I don't have any problems. Looked at the other dude and he's like, I don't have any problems. From that day forward, we never freaking like interacted again. We just kind of left it at that and just died out. But I did have to keep my head on a swivel from that guy. So when people ask about like how Asians move, one thing I will say is that it just depends on the person. But overall, as a unit, we are very tight because of our small numbers. You know, when it comes to the program, day to day, the routine is just steady. You wake up, you go to work, you read, you write your letters, you call home, you keep your area clean. You do whatever it is to keep your mind and your body right. You know, other programs might be a little bit more strict. Like you got the Southerners, their operations is tight. But for us, because our numbers are a little bit more smaller, it tends to be a little bit more light. And the main thing is just no freeloading and no drama. You know, even though the instance with that Vietnamese guy, you know, was bad, there are a lot of good moments as well. And it reminds me of this Korean guy where I couldn't really work out with him because the yard just kept getting on lockdown. We were just on lockdown all the freaking time. Like it wasn't because of the others, it was just because of all the other ethnicities. They always riot, and eventually we get released, but then boom, another riot cracks off, and then the whole prison, like our yard, would be on lockdown. So we were constantly inside of ourselves. Now I just want to break down to you how our housing unit was set up so you can understand of, you know, this next story here. Now on our housing unit, it's a 180, I think it's called 180 housing unit, okay? And basically means like 3 walls here. Along this wall right here, all cells, all prison cells right here. And there's 2 levels, the first floor and then you got the second floor, okay? And then right here you got like the command tower. This is where the cops hang out and they can guard everyone. They can see everyone. They could pop the doors open from here. This is the command center. And, you know, I was over here with another Vietnamese dude named Tony, and there was this Korean guy down here with his celly, and then there's like another 2 homies down here. So there was only 6 of us in this housing unit. So whenever everyone would like get out, you'll notice there was only 6 of us, and luckily I was right here, right next to the homie right here. And you know, because we were constantly on lockdown, we created like this workout program where we would work out every day. So what we would do, I would go up to the door and I'll call out to him, "Hey, yo, let's work out, bro." Forgot his name. It's been so long, but I'll call out to him, "Woo! Hey, bro, let's work out." So whenever he's like ready to get down, what we would do is I would do like 10 push-ups. Right after I'm done doing 10 push-ups, I go up to the door because the door has like 2 or 3 foot in height and maybe about 6 inches in width. Right, it's like a window made out of like thick plexiglass, and I can look out and I can see him. So after I do my 10, I go up to the door, he'll see me, and then he'll bust his 10, and then we go back and forth, 10 10 10 10 10 10, and be non-stop, and we used to keep going. And eventually we got up to the point where we did 2,000 push-ups in that session, and it was so freaking dope because we were constantly on lockdown. But even though we were locked down, I still was able to build this relationship with the homie through this workout. And it's the small things that inside of prison that are dear to us, even though we're locked inside this box. So even though you got homies that might be scandalous, like the Vietnamese dude trying to punk me or punk another homie out for something else, you can build a relationship and you know who to trust based on little moments like that, like fitness and working out with somebody else. There's this other like memory that I can think of, and it reminds me of my cellie. His name was Tony. It was a Vietnamese guy from SGV, San Gabriel Valley, and he was a little off on his head. Every day he would take his meds. They'll pop the door open, he'll go out, he'll take his meds, he'll come back in 9 o'clock, he'll be knocked out because of the medication that they give him. But I remember there was a time he went out to the yard, and the USO, the rep for the others, he gave him some tobacco, like cigarettes, right? But it was like loose tobacco, and he slid it to the homie Tony. We got back to the cell, and I remember it was so funny because he would read the Bible every single day. And when he finally got like the loose tobacco, it was like one of those small little library Bibles. And what he did was he ripped out a page. He sprinkled out the tobacco in there. He rolled it up like a little joint, licked it. And he'll use like the light inside the cell, and he'll spark it up. And he'll smoke. And it was actually through those cigarettes where me and Tony actually became really cool. But before that, we were living together for like damn near 9 months, and we hardly talked. That's all I knew about him, was that he lived in SGV, and that was it. I didn't really know anything else, but it was through that cigarette where it kind of changed things, and me and him start to open it up a little bit more. Looking back, I met a lot of people. I met a lot of good people, a lot of bad, some funny, some very creative. And it taught me one thing that I still hold very true to this day. And it's like, the smaller your world gets, the more real people become. And it's kind of like when your circle is so small, you get to see them for who they are. You get to see their habits, their moods, what makes them smile, who they are as a human being. And out here in the free world, it's all about networking, big circles, all the people that you want to know. But in there, you value a smaller, tight-knit circle. And one thing that it shows is it lets you know who is real and who isn't. So if you ever wondered how Asians move inside California prisons, you already know what time it is, man. Small groups, steady programs, and real connections. Yeah, that's about it, man. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you learned something. And if this video made you think, made you feel a certain way, or it made you invoke something inside of you, you can support the channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. There's also a like button right there. You can leave some comments for engagement. And if you really truly want to help grow this platform, you can share this with somebody else. What I'm trying to do here is just show people the downfalls and the pitfalls of life for the future generations of young men and women coming up behind us, because it's only through lessons that we share with the younger generation that they'll learn, and we keep showing them what not to do and not fall into the footsteps like someone like myself that ended up going to prison. So if you want to support that, you already know, man. There's a couple buttons down below. You can click on it right there, man. And until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.